opinions, no edits.
This is the All Things Go podcast. I'm E.
DJ Ashwell.
We got a special guest here today. Introduce yourself.
How y'all doing, man? Gary Crum, man. East Baltimore.
East Baltimore. You know, we like the west side over here, but you know, shout out to them. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit the button, please. It's going to be a great episode. This guy's done a lot for the community.
Yes.
We're going to let him tell it. Oh, tell me yourself.
Well, most people that know me, man, y'all know I'm in the community. I'm in the city. I'm boots on the ground, trying to do a lot of things in the community, save our youth, helping our young men and women that's coming home from jail, trying to reestablish themselves in the environment, in the city. Just trying to do my part as a community activist.
Okay. So in your background, so why do you focus on, youth that's coming out of jail?
Because we was all kids at one time, and we done a lot of things that we shouldn't have done. But the only difference now is that we had structure growing up. You know, a lot of us was raised, especially my generation, was raised by our grandmothers growing up in the crack era, 80s, early 90s. Our moms and dads were either locked up or getting high, and we was being raised by our aunts and grandmothers. I was fortunate enough to be raised by a strong black grandmother who I lost last year to cancer. So, these kids in this generation don't have that for some odd reason. They don't have that structure. So let's take guys like myself and other people that's on the boots on the ground as far as Stokies and We Are Us and the Uncle T's of the world that's trying to do things in the community to help stay our youth in the right direction.
Right. And so why do you think, do you think that you see a change when kids actually, when you're mentoring or when you're out there, what's the change you see, or how is it tough? Is it any challenges, or is it you think that it's really helpful when the kids get it, they get the mentorship, and it changes their life? How is the challenges with that?
Yeah, so, our kids have, the way of their thinking is they need microwavable type things, right? They need instant gratification.
Right.
And we have to kind of get in their mind that everything is not going to come right away.
Right.
So we have to show them sometimes, hey, if you go to work, you can work a 9 to 5 and make it. You can go to school and make it. We have to change their mindsets that they don't think they have to stand on a corner or try to make a fast dollar to survive in our city. So it is a tough battle, but once when kids can see people and see a person come from the struggle and make it, they have a better understanding that, hey, I can do it this way too, instead of just having to come out here on the corners.
Yeah, but it'd be different when you on a corner and you get a job and you see them taxes come out your check. You be like, what's that? FICA? Who these people? That'd be a little strange. You feel me?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard.
Well, I think I'd rather have the taxes taken out than to be doing a 5 to 10 bid in jail.
Right.
So, at some point, we're going to have to pay Uncle Sam. We can't get away from paying Uncle Sam. You're going to pay him in taxes, or you're going to pay him by giving up your freedom.
Unless you Trump, because they got their little ways to get around paying taxes and all that.
Yeah, well,
big money.
You know what, too? Somebody said something interesting was I think it's motivation to the youth or whoever, that Trump is a felon and he's the president of the United States.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all can really do, huh? You said he what?
White.
Oh, I know. Yeah. That's true. But I'm saying,
I can say this. There probably will be no black man ever that can have 34 convicted felons and run for the president of the United States.
Right.
That's just where.
That's a fact.
But what we can do, we can use that motivation to say, hey, we can do other things with some of the backgrounds that some of us do have, and we can go out here and make some changes, not in the way that he's doing it, but in our way, the right way of doing it.
Right.
Well, being a black man with, that type of background, was it hard for you to get in the position you are now? Were those doors closed, and how did you?
Yeah. So basically, when I came home, I had a friend of mine named Chris. he was running. I was working at St. Francis Xavier Head Start. I was an administrator, and when I got locked up, he supported me. He came to court. He told me, "Man, listen, when you come out, I got a job for you." So that's my guy. He was one of my grooms was in my wedding, and what happened was he gave me that second chance. And when I came home, I went back to work. Unfortunately, the job had closed down, but because he gave me that second chance, I was able to build my resume, and then I went on to go to other things. But it takes people to have some faith in you and to give you a second chance to be able to get over that hump.
So it took him to give you that second chance, or was it your experience when you were locked up? Like, I don't want to be here again, or you had to go back a couple times.
No, that was my last time there. So my motivation was that the things I was doing to put me in that position didn't weigh enough. It outweighed the circumstances. Like, I knew it wasn't worth it. When I went in there, I was locked up for about 7-8 months. I was on the north section before they knocked down the jail downtown, and I was on 23 and 1 lockdown. I mean, we was coming out 1 hour for a shower, and it was in a hot summer, so it was 100. If it was 90 degrees outside, it was 110 inside. And I looked at those summer months going into the spring, and I was like, man, it's not worth it. No amount of money you make is worth you being in that environment that's almost inhumane for a human being to be in.
Right.
Man.
Do you go speak to like people that's in prison now?
No, I don't do. I don't speak to people in prison. I don't do that like that. But I do share my experience with the young youth out here.
Okay.
A lot of them can relate to what I've been through. Yeah. And I try to give them that story and that experience. But the youth can see me. They see me come out my house. They see me go to work.
Right.
They see me take care of my kids. They see me get married.
Yeah.
So they see the growth.
Yeah.
And when once kids see that's attainable, and they see that person doing that type stuff, it gives them a different aspect of life, and they can probably go on that trajectory instead of going down the other end.
So do they feel a way that when you got married as a white woman?
Huh?
When you got married? To the white woman?
I ain't get married to no white woman.
Oh, all right. You know, a lot of times, men, they come home, they find that, vanilla queen.
No, I'm married to a beautiful black woman.
Okay, black power.
Shout out to that.
Yeah, I got 2 beautiful black kids.
Yes.
And and like I said, marry who you love. But me growing up, being raised by a black woman, being born by a black woman, I wanted to marry a black woman and have black beautiful kids and have that black family structure.
Right. And I was gonna ask you, what are your goals for just with the youth, in general? What what do you see yourself with that in 5 years, compared to what you're doing now?
Well, as far as the youth, my goal is to always try to be in a position to help them.
Okay.
Currently, I work for the state's attorney office.
Okay.
I'm real heavy into politics. I'm always trying to make sure that I'm connected to resources to be able to guide them towards that, whether there's jobs, getting their GED, trying to help them get their record expunged for some charges and stuff like that. So a lot of the youth, they'll reach out to me. I'll see them outside because I'm outside sometimes, and I'm always in the trenches trying to make sure that our kids are trying to do right, or at least they know somebody that's trying to help them do right.
Right. That one person can help change their life. Because they may not have it at home, and just a little bit of support can go a long way.
Do you ever think you see any kids that's they just too far gone, whereas though it ain't no helping them? I'm wasting my time. Or you think everybody has the ability to change?
Colin, go sit down. I'm sorry. I believe everybody has a possibility to change. Now, for your statement that some kids it's not that they're too far gone, but some of them feel as though that they have done so much that it might be too late for them to turn around. And I always tell them that at any given moment, your life can change. So I try to reach out to them and let them know that just because you made these choices, it doesn't mean that's the end of your life. You still have chances to do other things. It's a little bit more harder to convince them, but there's people out here that really love our youth, man, and really trying to let them know that, it's other options out there for you.
And their past doesn't define them too. I think the kids need to know that. Like, you can change tomorrow and be,
but
a better person.
You have perfect examples all across the city.
Right.
I just named a few. Uncle T did a whole bunch of time in jail, came home, started a mentorship program. Stokey did some time in jail, came home, put on for a city, put on for his White Lock area. It's a lot of guys that has come home and changed their life and have grown and have reached back to the community to show them, hey, you can do this as well.
Yeah. Hopefully the kids know about them, so that's why we want to do this, because maybe they don't know.
Well, like I said, we have to sometimes, most of the times, we have to go meet the kids where they at. Mm-hmm. So that means you have to go out in the community. Right. You have to go. I have to go in East Baltimore on Preston Street, on Greenmount, on Bond Street,
meet them like in the streets.
And I have to go to them. Yeah. Like a lot of times, like when I get resources as far as jobs and stuff like that, I just ride through my community, and I know some guys that's on the corner. Hey, they hiring, bop, bop, bop. Here go this number, and hopefully they'll take that information and go try to do it. Sometimes you have to take their hand and lead them as well. So it's all about how much you care. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I really care. I really care about our youth, and I really want them to succeed. So I go a little bit extra step to try to help them. Actually, I honored 3 youth this week. The state's attorney office honored. We had a champion in the community courage award, and I honored Eric Williams, who's the co-founder of Nacho Bangers.
Okay, yeah, shout out to Nacho.
Cuffy, who's also a co-founder of Nacho Bangers. And I honored the Tadea Family Program, which is ran by Elijah Miles, who goes in the community and does a lot of things in the community as well. So I honored those. I wanted to give those young people their flowers while they was alive, to recognize, let them show that, hey, we see what y'all doing, and what y'all are doing is needed in our community.
You ever had Nacho Bangers?
Yes, of course.
You like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say too, you gonna ride in the streets on the west side and help the youth over there, spinning bin. Might need you on the west side.
No, the guy stick to his area. It's all cool,
I see. Answer that.
I'm East Side certified, but I do reach out all over. Actually, what's so crazy? I'm a graduate of Douglas High School.
Okay.
So I actually graduated from a West Baltimore school under the circumstances because of my problems in other schools. I was.
You went to city and got put out?
No, I didn't go to city. I went to 2 high schools. I went to Southern High School, which I don't know. Y'all probably a little bit younger than me. So back in the day, we was zoned. So it was zone school. So
you went to Southern, didn't you?
I went to Southwest.
Oh.
So me from East Baltimore, I didn't know why Southern was my zone school, but according to the map, a lot of us East Baltimore people had to go to Southern. So I went to Southern for 2 years, got in some issues, got put out. Then went to Patterson, got in some issues, got put out, and then I wound up over Douglas. Yeah.
So do you feel with the youth, are they more trouble with like being in the streets or like being addicted to drugs? Because there's a lot of poppers out here, boy.
Yeah, it's kind of like both. Mm-hmm. We know we do have a rural epidemic with this this fentanyl, this Percocets and stuff like that. Also, our kids are looking for some type of love and unity. Right. And now they're getting it from the streets and the street gang culture and things of that nature. So, they're going to go where they feel the love is. And a lot of our young kids not getting the love at home. So they're coming in the street trying to find a way to find that.
Probably find an escape, I guess, because with his circumstances and what they going through too.
No, I'm laughing. I ain't laughing at what you talking about with the kids and the kids.
Oh, I'm about to say nobody kind of chimed in, but that's cool. But anyway, I'll talk to the camera. I think they try to look for an escape because I know people, and actually, my R.I.P. to Warren, my good friend from high school, passed recently from drugs as well. So I think he was escaped. I think it's mental health too. So that's a big part that I know is probably huge. Have you been through any helping kids with mental health, or do you notice that's?
Well, I know right now in public schools they're really pushing to get mental health in a lot of the schools that had the kids deal with. Also, in Baltimore, we just sued a lot of drug companies because of the fentanyl overdose. So we got about the mayor along with his staff and lawyers and stuff. We actually just got about $600 million in opiate funding, and so now they created a board to see how that money is going to be dispersed throughout the city dealing with opiate crisis.
Yes.
You got an idea what they're going to do with the money? Like, what can they do?
Well, I think they're going to be providing funding to people who are dealing with drug rehabs. Probably trying to figure out if any of these families who died because of the opiate crisis, see if they can probably award them some money. So it's going to be different things that they're going to be looking at to try to get this money out to the community and to families.
I mean, you can still go to the hospital and get the opioids. Like, if you get in an accident, they giving you perks now. Like, they pushing them. Like,
Well, it's a little bit more harder now because of everything that's been happening and the over prescribing of drugs and things of that nature. So it's kind of like slowed down a lot. So they're not giving out medication like there was prior to COVID and going into COVID. They not it's hard for you to get these type of pills like that now.
Okay.
I was gonna say, do you have any I guess what's the state's attorney what's something big that they working on? What's on their agenda? Do you know that type of?
Well, we are doing right now. Legislation is about to close Monday.
Okay.
The state's attorney was in Annapolis trying to push some legislation.
Okay.
We are going to be doing the department that I work for is called External Affairs.
Okay.
We're going to be out here this summer knocking on doors in a lot of communities, just trying to let people know what we're doing in the state's attorney office, how we are here to help people who probably were victims of any type of crimes. We're going to do a little proactive stuff, try to have some resources for people, jobs of that nature. And we're just trying to do our part. Our state's attorney, who was once a defense lawyer, now he's a prosecutor. He understands the unjust that some things happen. So he's going to be fair in a lot of stuff. And he's not just trying to lock people up. He's trying to make sure people are being held accountable if they're out here committing all these crimes and mayhem. But he's also is going to be working with people that's trying to come home and get jobs. He's going to be working with trying to make sure our youth getting the services that they need as well. So, we got to have a balance. We can't have total chaos and nobody's been held accountable. So,
do you think knocking on doors is a good strategy? Because I'm not a Jehovah's Witness.
Well, this will be our second year actually doing this. So the first year we did it was actually kind of successful because what happens is that because we work for the state's attorney office, when you think of state's attorney, you think of prosecution, right?
For sure. I think of court every time you say it.
Right.
So most people in the city think that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
But if they see a person like me out there in the community and other guys that's community leaders that actually happen to work for the state's attorney office, is a difference. It's a little bit. But hold up, what you doing? What you doing, G? Crum, you out here? And we can explain to them what we're trying to do. And we also could say, hey, boy, state's attorney ain't playing, man. You get caught with these guns or you get caught with this. This is what you're looking at.
Right.
So we out there. We giving them two different. We giving you an option to say, hey, we can change our lives. So that's why we're effective at what we're due at the state's attorney office.
Okay. Yeah, that's what's up.
Do you feel like you're appreciated for what you do?
I know this, man. In life, most people who are genuine about what they do will never get their flowers while they're alive.
Yeah.
That's not for that.
And
that's a fact.
And the thing is, man, I don't look for flowers, but I do know that I'm genuine about what I'm doing. So whenever Allah calls me home, my work will have been done because I have left everything on the field to do. And I'm not looking for no gifts or no praises. Because the Quran teaches us that when you do good deeds, you leave that up to you and Allah.
Right.
So did you become a Muslim in jail?
No.
Okay.
I became Muslim on the streets. Actually, I went to Jamaica for a vacation, me and my wife.
You got Muslim in Jamaica?
No, I'm just telling you the story. I went to Jamaica, and we was torn, and we saw things, and they say whether you Muslim, Christian, Judaism, Buddhism, whatever, a calling is a calling.
Right. Once
you get that calling, you're gonna take heed of it. So when I came back from Jamaica, something just came over me and said I need to take my shahada. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what it was. I just felt it, and I called my cousin and my other Muslim brother, and they gave me my shahada. And I've been Muslim about 4 years. As you know, we just completed Ramadan last year, so this will be my 3rd year completing Ramadan. And being Muslim is not just about wearing robes and stuff like that. It's actually about reading, learning, and discipline. Mm-hmm. So
So you don't eat no bacon?
No, I don't eat no pork.
I was gonna ask, what's a shahada?
So shahada is like you in the Christian world. It's like you
baptized or something.
Being baptized.
Okay.
What's the other one when they
dip you in the water?
No, when you have to repeat the words after when you when you give your life to Christ.
You come up to the altar. I don't know
that.
Oh, okay.
And coming Muslim is you taking shahada, and you take shahada, and basically you believe that you saying that there's only one God, which is Allah, and His true messages.
Okay.
So like you don't miss ham at all, like bacon, like you don't want a bacon, egg, and cheese. Butter and jelly.
So of course, when we was younger, and growing up, you had to eat what you can afford, and pork was all through the households in the city. Wow. But just like with life, you learn things as you get older. Yeah. So you know that pork is not good for the body.
Yeah, it got the worms in there.
So you don't eat. You don't want to eat stuff that's not good for the body. There's a lot of things that's not good for you. But like I said, as you get older and you learn more, you try to do better.
For sure.
And did you want to? I was gonna say, did you want? I know you were talking about a shooting not too long ago. I'm sure. Did you want to speak on that?
Well, I was. Yeah. So back in August of last year, there was a mass shooting in the Olive community, which is in the 12th district. Biker club who rented a spot out in our neighborhood right next to our basketball court where we have thrown events and gave back and back to school stuff for years and years. We never had any problems up there until that group moved into that area. And there's always been a little conflict every now and then. But in August, the conflict kind of reached to the level where 8 people were shot. 7 of those people were my friends who were shot. And one of them who passed away, we call him Black Child. His name was Chris. And, it was tragic. It was a loss that we really that took us out, man. Because I have lost. One of the reasons why I ran for office case the audience don't know, I ran for city council in my district in 2016, and I ran again during the pandemic in 2020. I came in third place both times. I never ran for office in my life. It's because between 2016 and 2020, I had lost about 30 to 35 friends in that community
to
gun violence. And I wanted to do something different. I wanted to be a voice for people who were tired of people running for office, not coming in the community, not doing nothing. And we doing all this work in the community. So a lot of my friends and family just said, "Gary, just go ahead and run, because you're already doing the work." But back to my friend, we had the shooting. He passed away. The shooting was totally avoidable. And I gave an interview with Fox and I expressed the fact that I was actually there Sunday morning. We every Sunday, all of us get up, we go play basketball, and I jammed my finger, and my finger was like going this way. And my friend who got killed, he came up to me. He was like, I said, "Yo, I'm ready to leave. I got to go to emergency room and get this finger." He's like, "Man, you all right? Just wait till your adrenaline go down." I said, "Yo, my finger's going the opposite way. What are you talking about?" And I left, and then I got later on that day I was getting calls that it was arguments and stuff. And then the last call I got, they was like, "Gary, they shooting." And by the time I got down there, they already had took him to the hospital, and they pronounced him dead at the hospital.
So if your finger ain't messed up, you would have been there.
Probably so. And I don't blame myself, but I know if I was there, I feel as though I could have de-escalated the situation. Because the respect that I have for people and people who have respect for me, I could have probably de-escalated, or me personally, I would have got him away from there.
So this wasn't over basketball.
No.
Okay.
It was just tension that was boiling, and then what happens is that this biker group, a lot of them are not from here. They come from all these different counties and states, and they met up to have a candlelight visual for somebody that they knew passed away. And a parking spot happened, and they tried to take a parking spot and got back and forth.
Wow.
Things got out of control. But yeah, rest in peace, Black Child. Love you, man. And we're going to keep his memory alive. We're going to probably do something in his honor. And up the basketball court coming up, try to do basketball lead or something just to keep his memory alive and keep the memory of the safe haven, because that was our safe haven. We created that safe haven for people to come up and be able to chill and relax and do things up there, so they can feel like they feel comfortable and safe up there. And that day kind of messed that up, but we're gonna get that back right.
You still be hooping?
Actually, yeah. I just played. I played yesterday. In a Head Start tournament that they have every year, that they had it down St. Francis, and I still try to go out there and do my thing.
You had any points?
I had 3 points.
Okay. Yeah, so we looking for a podcast who want to battle me and DJ Ashmore on a 2-on-2 on the court basketball. What's up?
You hoop?
I can do a little something.
No, okay.
I used to play.
You used to play? What you play for?
Only Smith.
Okay. I play for the Douglas Ducks, so I played 2 years of high school ball, and I played some college ball.
I can do a little something.
I used to play with all boys too, so I'm
Okay. Got check y'all out. I got somebody we can go 2-on-2 with y'all. Y'all come down 250 basketball court in the trenches.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go there for I had to check in.
Check in.
Check
Check in.
Probation.
Oh, down the way. Okay, yeah. Oh, down on Press Street. Yeah, the probation spot.
You thought I had to check in that?
You thought you had to check in around like you go to East Coast or West Coast.
No, I got that. I'm in Baltimore now. So do you deal with like gangs?
I know a lot of people that's unfortunately in those situations.
Do you like try to leave people out of them?
Nah,
or just try to,
I let people make their own decisions. What I try to tell them is that because you are in the gang, that don't mean you can't do right, And anybody that knows anything about gang culture anyway, understand that gang culture was built to uplift the community.
Right, it was.
You know, so the Bloods and the Crips and all that, and that was meant to uplift the community.
Right.
The Black Panther Party, you know, even though they wasn't considered a gang because the police termed them a gang. You know, that was an organization to uplift the community. So once we understand that and get that back to reality, you know, things have turned out a little bit more different.
So it's a lot going on with like people comparing gangs to what's the people who be stomping in college?
Oh, fraternities?
Yes, gangs and fraternities. But the fraternities don't like that. They say don't compare us to gangs, and the gangs saying we ain't that different from y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But what you
I believe you talking about that interview, Jim Jones.
Yeah, for sure.
In some aspects, he was right, but it depends on who the terminology is coming from. The police doesn't look at fraternities as gangs, but the police does look at Bloods, Crips, BGF, whatever. They do look at them as a gang because they determine them to be criminal.
Yeah.
So anything that's labeled as criminal is in your organization, they're going to label it as a gang. But you know, this all depends on who perspective is coming from.
Because Jim Jones said he is a Blood, but he doesn't do illegal activity.
And he might be right because all he's a rapper, and you know, and like I said, some people, if they are using that the term Bloods or they're Bloods and they're doing the right thing, then why can't they look at it as an organization? You know, maybe they'll go get it under LLC and make it legit, and now they'll have it.
Y'all just take notes.
So why don't they see the KKK as a gang? I never heard nobody say the KKK gang. What's the difference?
Definitely a gang.
Like they killing off. I mean, people.
They most definitely a gang. I don't know who.
For real.
They're a gang.
But no, you never hear them say that. Like, but what's the difference?
Because now, because they're not wearing the white sheets no more.
Oh, and speaking of KKK, so did y'all hear about Trump and this like segregation thing he passed or something?
I ain't know about that.
You didn't hear about that?
You talking about the he's repealing a lot of stuff that Civil Rights Act did.
Okay.
Yeah, he's repealing a lot of stuff. A lot of it has to go through the courts. He's just signing executive orders.
No, I'm just saying, but it's being
So you know, as when you're signing executive orders, you signing off stuff, but that doesn't determine that it's actually going to happen.
Okay.
And that's why you see a lot of federal judges and stuff right now are blocking a lot of stuff that he's signing off on, because what happens is that when he's done in the next 4 years, and if we get a Democratic president come back in, all the Democratic president want to do is repeal all that stuff, all over again. So that's why a lot of presidents doesn't do executive orders. But the thing is, with the people in the public and the people that are Democrats are saying, why don't we never be aggressive when we want to get stuff done, and we'll let the Republicans come in and they'll at least they doing what they want to do. And people said, you know, Democrats need to just find a new way of thinking and be more aggressive with stuff, and maybe things have changed a little bit, because right now, as a country, people are frustrated with a lot of stuff that's going on in the Democratic Party. But maybe new leadership, maybe new blood and stuff, people will come up and do something different.
I just thought that was crazy. Like,
yeah, but not to go too far from the KKK thing. How do you feel about Kanye West wearing a black KKK outfit and the swastika chain?
Yeah, I think Kanye West, man, you know, I was talking about this a couple weeks ago. Some of the stuff that he's actually saying is actually true.
True.
But because of his antics, the message that he's saying is going over people's head because of his antics of him wearing the stuff. So it's throwing everybody off, and he's doing a disservice for the message he's trying to get out. Because if he just do that interview regular and just talk his message, it could be more perceived to the actual truth that he's speaking, but because of his antics, he is making everything invalid. And hopefully he'll get that right, man. He hasn't been right since his mom died,
Right.
and it's been like that for a while.
So, what do you think is more important than the message or the messenger?
The message always should be important, no matter who it's coming from.
But in the case you just said,
because I
contradicting that.
Well, I can listen to the message
Mm-hmm.
and get the message. I don't have to participate in the antics that he's doing.
Okay.
So a normal thinking person will say, I got the message. All the other stuff doesn't really matter to me because I'm not participating in it.
I think a lot of other people go with the opposite of that.
Yeah, they do.
They look at who it's coming from and who's saying it,
yeah,
than actually getting the message.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
what you think, Ashma? What you think more important, the message or the messenger?
I do think the message is really important, but I think nowadays, with the younger minds, the generations that's coming up, is like they more focus on who's doing this, who's doing that. They influenced by people that's high. Because if whoever on the street doing something good, they like, oh, whatever. But if it could be Cardi B or somebody like whatever, I don't know.
That's
the
to your
little
point.
baby.
They looking
like, oh my gosh.
The messenger.
Right. So it's like, it's like, nowadays I think it may be the messenger, but the message is always, I feel like, important. It's just who's hearing that message though. Because if somebody on the street saying it, nobody probably hearing it or taking it serious.
Yeah.
So it's kind of.
But that's a problem we have right now in the city. Like, you have to have some type of respect or some type of status to be able to reach these young kids.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, then
they're like, who are you?
Who are you telling me what to do?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's what we got you for, though.
Yeah,
I'm your brothers.
I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, man. As long as the Lord have me out here, I'm gonna keep trying to do my best to uplift the community and be in positions where I can help the community. At the end of the day, that's what it's about, man.
Definitely.
I got one more question since you brought it back to Allah. Is that marriage different? Like, how you get married?
Well, with me personally, I got married prior to me taking my shahada.
Okay. Oh yeah, because he said 3 years and you said.
Yeah. So but I have been to a Muslim wedding though, and it is different, and it is not in binding law.
So does your wife, does she has to be Muslim?
No, my wife is not Muslim. I tell people all the time that, again, your calling is for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You cannot force anybody to be anything, because if you forcing somebody to be something, that means they're not accepting the calling. They're doing it on behalf of somebody else, and that's never a good thing. So me and my wife, marriage actually works how it is, and if she want to come on to be Muslim, that's great, and if she don't, that's great as well.
Yeah. Okay. Because I hear a lot of black women saying, I'm not wearing a ninja outfit.
Yeah. I just think, you gotta want to be, you have to have a calling to come be Muslim. You have to have a calling to go be Christian.
Yeah.
All these different things. It should be a calling. It should be something that you want to do. Yeah. Anybody that's forcing anybody to do anything, they're not doing it out the love of whatever God that they praying to.
So anything else you want to get to the people before we close this one?
Just my thing is the message to the city. Make sure y'all keep eyes out about what's going on in Annapolis. What laws are going to be passed. This legislation. We have an election coming up in 2026 for state's attorney. Make sure y'all go vote for Alvin J. Bates to be back as state's attorney. To the youth out there, man, keep your head on the swivel. There's people out there that love y'all. There's people out there that have resources for y'all. If y'all want to try to change your life around, y'all can reach out to me. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at GTC283. And thank you, All Things Podcast, for having me. Appreciate y'all, man. Wish the best for y'all. Hope y'all platform take off, skyrocket. And,
all right, appreciate it. It's a go in that though.
Yeah.
All Things Go Podcast.
All Things Go Podcast. And when y'all reach the top, make sure y'all reach back out to me.
Oh, we
Yeah,
always.
let us know when you do event. Like, I'm always trying to help the youth. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
down.
And she didn't come DJ. I mean, you gotta pay her.
Well, we actually, well, that's fine because we actually, we did a back to school event last year at Robert C. Marshall Field, where we gave out around about 3,500 book bags, had moon bounces and stuff like that, and we're going to have it again this coming school year when school about to start back up. So I can reach out to you. We had, I think Rob Braxton. Yeah, we had Rob Braxton.
Okay.
Y'all know who that is?
She know, I don't know.
Old school DJ back in the day.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but
Yeah, on that note, it's been another episode of All Things Go Podcast. I'm E.
DJ Ashroom.
my name is Gary Crum, East Baltimore.
All right, we out.
Peace.
You be dragging on this beat.